Let's talk about one of the very interesting topics, and that is why mistakes keep us alive. Now, let's talk about some very simple examples, and some of the examples you might wonder. So, mistakenly, birds sometimes hatch the golf balls. Similarly, they create whimsy nets. There are other example where frog takes the tongue to other side in order to consider a prey. Fishes, considering something as bait, hang up to the metal hooks. So all these are what? These are mistakes. If we talk about human beings, we forget the place where we park the car. We forget the keys at home. We misinterpret certain thing which is given. We misread certain information. So all these are what? These are mistakes. Now again, if we talk from bacteria to animal, it is ought to commit mistakes in some form or the other, as we have already explained. But don't you wonder, all of the things that we are talking about are living in nature. That means biology is one of the major aspects that we consider here. So if we talk about pure objects of physics, they do follow the laws of science and they are not erroneous. That means there is no mistake that could be committed in that case. For example, if we talk about pure metals, pure substances, they do follow the laws of nature. However, as soon as the aspect of biology is introduced, there is the errors or the mistakes that start to come up. So, till the time biology follows the concepts of physics and chemistry, it is error free, but that actually does not happen. So biology follows its own laws and it does not obey the exact laws of physics and chemistry, and therefore there are errors that occur because of biology. But these errors are not restricted to individual. In certain cases, these errors could be mass errors, and possibly the extinction of certain animals, for example dinosaur, could be related to that aspect. So definitely what I'm talking and going forward is a more of philosophical concept, and it has been laid down by very many philosophers as well. So in 17th century, Descartes was one of the philosophers who talked about it, and in the theory of Descartes, the concept that was given was automata, and this automata was nothing but a concept where he said that machines actually obey the laws and humans act as machines in certain cases, and therefore they obey the law. So this concept, which was laid by Descartes, actually talked about the concept where animals were considered okay to break down but not okay to make mistakes. So this concept was not in alignment with the concepts that had been laid down previously, and the theory of reductionism, that is reducing biology to physics, was not the correct way which could be explained here, right? Later on, there was a French scientist, and he was known as Perry Simmons Laplace, and he talked about a concept known as all-knowing demons. And this concept of all-knowing demon was a concept where it is a universal behavior where everything you know about the physical universe is there, but still you cannot predict the things correctly, and that is because of the biological errors that is happening. And this was the concept which was laid down by Laplace, and this was called as the all-knowing demon. But later on, once this theory of biological errors came into existence, it was a very basic idea that was laid forward that even in the DNA copies mistakes are there, and therefore we see diversity of life, because if the exact DNA copies were there, every species would be same, there would be no variation within even the generations that could be seen, right? So mistakes are everywhere, and even in the DNA copy we see mistakes that occur, and that is one of the basis for this biological errors, and that is the reason that we are alive. Because if every species would exactly be the same, then the ecosystem actually cannot survive. You cannot have the food chains, food pyramids, and food webs that exist. So this was a very interesting concept, a rather philosophical concept, but yes, is really important for your exam perspective. We will be covering many such interesting topics before you. So please subscribe. In case you have any questions, feel free to connect back on the number below. Thanks for joining in.